Federal government and the state of Missouri are stepping up efforts to control Ebola after the first person diagnosed with the virus in the U.S. has died. Good evening. I'm Daniel Wynn.
And I'm Dana Clemens. Taking a look at the latest developments in the Ebola crisis tonight, the U.S. government said this afternoon it will start screening at 5 major airports this weekend. The airports handle nearly 95% of this country's traffic from the West African nations affected by Ebola. This move came hours after Thomas Duncan, the first person to be diagnosed in the U.S. with the virus, died this morning in a Texas hospital. A second patient in Texas tonight is now showing signs of Ebola as well.
The Center for Disease Control held a press conference this afternoon urging anyone with symptoms to take them seriously. And the state of Missouri also spoke out today on the topic of Ebola for the first time. ABC 17's Ashley Strohmeyer had first word yesterday about a meeting of health officials here in Missouri. And today she sat down with the state's health director and is joining us live from Jefferson City. Ashley, what is the state doing to ensure a good response?
Daniel, I'm at the Missouri Department of Health, where I spoke to the director just a little bit ago, and she tells me they are not only training healthcare professionals, but also law enforcement in the case of Ebola coming here to Missouri. She also tells me that she thinks Missouri is being very proactive about the disease and says they are ready if it does come here.
Do you think that as of right now, you guys have a pretty good idea of what the protocol that you guys would take if that were to happen, if Ebola were to come here?
We've talked about it, we've trained on it. I think, yeah, we are prepared in Missouri. There's probably going to be a little bit of, overreaction from the public, but it's a very serious disease and it's better to be prepared.
Masterling tells me since the Ebola outbreak started 6 months ago in West Africa, Missouri Health Department has been sending out health alerts to the healthcare community. She says in the case of Ebola coming to Missouri, they have a plan in place if someone were to come in contact with them.
Isolate them in a room by themselves with a bathroom, and then contact the Department of Health, and we have people on call 24/7 to answer questions and talk about whether or not that person needs to be tested through the CDC for Ebola.
I asked Masterling what she could say to Missourians to let them know they are ready if the disease makes its way to the state.
We've had training with the hospitals and the first responders. We have a system in place and a 24/7 place to call for advice if anybody needs advice from the healthcare community. So I think we're ready.
Masterling also tells me with foreign travel, it's very possible that Ebola can come anywhere in the United States. She says the first 2 steps in preventing it from spreading is to first isolate the patient and then find out what their travel history is. Live in Jefferson City, Ashley Strohmeyer, ABC 17 News.
Thanks, Ashley. You can find out how Mid-Missouri's first responders are preparing for the virus coming up tonight at 6. Well,